Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Belle Jarneski and I am the Executive Director of the Jewish Heritage Centre of Western Canada. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we are hosting this event on Indigenous ancestral lands on Treaty 1 territory. The Red River Valley is also the birthplace of the Métis people. We acknowledge that our water comes from Shoal Lake and are grateful to the First Nations that care for that water. We affirm that our commitment to never forget must also include confronting attempts to destroy Indigenous culture and nationhood and condemning attempts to deny that historical reality. We are very pleased to host this event at Westwood Collegiate, a school which has done tremendous work in recognizing the importance of history and in particular Holocaust education. Today, we present the third of 4 programs in commemoration of Holocaust Education Month. It comes at a time when anti-Semitism is surging globally and right here in this country. Many of us in the Jewish community have been stunned by the expressions of hate we are witnessing. Who would believe that death to the Jews would be trending on social media, on X in this case? Who would believe that Osama bin Laden's infamous screed that the Jews have taken control of your economy, through which they have taken control of your media, would go viral on TikTok? We also painfully mourn the dead in the ongoing war in the Middle East and pray for the safe return of the hostages. And we look to a day when Vivian Silver, of blessed memory, of her vision of peace, will be attainable. We are thrilled to screen Peter Hutchinson's documentary, The Cure for Hate, Bearing Witness to Auschwitz, a film that traces Tony McCallier's journey from violent extremism to radical compassion. Tony is a former skinhead and Holocaust denier who went on to become a founding member of the anti-hate activist group Life After Hate. Profoundly aware and deeply ashamed of the lineage of hate he'd once promoted, Tony had long contemplated traveling to Auschwitz in a spirit of tshuva, of atonement, to bear witness to the inconceivable ravages of the Holocaust and to deepen his personal work against the rise of extremist politics. With an unprecedented surge of anti-Semitism swirling around us here and all over the world, Tony's work is more important than ever, as the clear and present danger of extremist ideology surrounds us, and just how easily words can turn into violence. Now, just yesterday, dozens of neo-Nazis marching in Madison, Wisconsin, and shouting Heil Hitler, waving swastika flags, shouted, "There will be blood." They also shouted racial slurs at bystanders. In the 1930s, we thought this would pass. We need to take this hate seriously, and we cannot afford to look away. We're grateful for our partners in this event, Peace Days 365, and of course, Westwood Collegiate. And I'd like to especially thank Kelly Hebert and Gary Senft for helping to facilitate today's event. And I'm so thrilled to have Tony with us in person today, and Peter Hutchinson, who will connect virtually to the panel discussion later on. So now it's my pleasure to ask Gary Senft to say a few words on behalf of Peace Days 365.
So thank you, Belle, and I'll only say a few words, and my first words are thank you for coming. So it's a beautiful day outside, and we know that we're going to be going Go Bombers very shortly, but it's a very important topic and subject, and you've taken the time to think about it and to be here and be present with us here today. So I work with a group that is part of the Rotary Peace Builders Club. And I'm not myself a Rotarian. I'm qualified as what we call Friends of Rotary. And our group tries to facilitate and inspire other community groups to take on difficult subjects, subject of human rights, subject of education, and help build a community. And one of the strongest words I think that I like to use is belonging. And so we've all come from fairly traumatic backgrounds, whether you're Indigenous Canadian that's had that legacy, or from some other parts of the world. Our ancestors don't go far back and you'll find trauma in their experience. So trauma is not unique, but it is deep and it's important. And the way we work with each other and the way we help each other belong is incredibly important. I'll note when you're driving down Portage in Maine, if you look at the Scotia Bank building, there's a slogan on it right now that says, "We all belong here." I think that's very powerful, and I'd ask you to look at that. And then, you know, on the Indigenous front, Bell gave a very nice land acknowledgement, but I always appreciate also the words that we are all treaty people. So those are a couple thoughts. Tony has come here really mostly on his own steam, just being asked to help us to talk about this deep subject. I've known him for about a decade now, and he's just been very solid in bringing forward these very difficult issues. So he has a deep story to tell, and I think it'd be important, and so thank you for coming. Okay.
Thank you, Gary. We are going to screen the film now, and that will be followed by a panel discussion, and there'll also be an opportunity to ask questions.